This is the Overdue Homework Podcast.
Welcome to the show. That's Trav. I'm Drew.
And I'm Trav.
And this is the Overdue Homework Podcast. And of course, we are here to give you our opinions on 80s and 90s media. Do not forget to contact us at podcast@overduehomework.com.
Boom.
Trav, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Drew. Pretty good.
Pretty good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, not doing a whole lot of different stuff. A
Yeah.
whole lot of Survivor going on in my household right now. Went from season 1, we're all the way up to season 29.
Dang. Binging
now.
it.
Binging it. Like
Binging
we're
it.
doing 2 seasons a week right now. It's pretty crazy.
Dang. Have you been watching GBBO?
GBBBO?
Great British Bake Off.
Oh, I am not caught up on the newest season.
Oh, we are caught up. It's pretty good.
It still has the regular people?
Yes.
Prue and
Yep, Prue and Noel and
Okay.
obviously Paul Hollywood.
Hollywood.
And I can't remember the name of the new woman.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the new stuff. Or wait, yes, I have, because I think she's actually really funny. I like her way more than Matt.
Way more than Matt. Yeah.
yeah.
But I can't remember her name, but she's
Yeah.
done really well. And
Yeah, I like
I can't
her.
remember her
So
name.
maybe we did start it. I don't know.
She was on last season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what it
So,
was.
but
we
the new
just caught
season.
up with
Yeah,
that
the new season's been good. The first. All of a sudden, this has turned into Great British Bake Off fan.
GBBBO.
The first couple episodes were full of drama.
Ooh.
Full of drama.
Like actual drama? Like they're...
Yeah. I mean, I think it was obviously hyped up because it's a TV show. But
I
yes,
suppose,
drama. But
'cause
yes, drama.
normally they're all super supportive of everybody.
Let me just say this. They got to the double elimination week very quickly.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because there was obviously a week where they didn't eliminate anybody.
Right.
Like the first episode.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was the second episode, but it was very early on.
Nice.
Anyway.
Anyways, how are you doing, Drew?
I'm doing really good. My beard is out of control already, and it's not even Christmas yet, so I'm gonna have to do something about that. It's out of control already, and I'm already getting complaints from Kristen, which, understandable. It looks terrible. So
I could do something about it, but hey, here we are.
Here we are. I haven't done anything. I shaved my fertile neck. The neck growth that I get, it's called the fertile neck. It's like a turtleneck, but it's fur. It's a fertile neck.
Yeah, I like that.
I shaved my fertile neck, so that's an improvement. So that was good. That was good.
Hey, at least you can grow a beard.
You could grow a beard.
Nah.
Yeah, you could. You could grow the chin strap.
I mean, maybe.
You should do it.
No.
Do it. Do it. You could go as Mose from The Office for Halloween next year.
That would be pretty cool, actually.
Do it. I
don't think Lauren would like that. I go about a week and she's like, get rid of that crap.
Could you grow the Fred Durst single line all the way down to the chin?
No, definitely
the single
not.
line. Remember how popular that beard was in the early 2000s?
I do, actually.
Unfortunately, huh?
I feel like one of my cousins, Carl, I know you listen sometimes, and I think you kind of still have that going on. It's time to change it, buddy.
Hey, nothing wrong if he likes Fred Durst, I guess, right? Nothing wrong with that. Have you heard their his song, like, Dad Vibes? It's like it's a couple years ago now, I guess, probably maybe 1 or 2 years ago, but it ain't half bad.
Nice.
It ain't half bad. It sings about being an old guy, I guess, basically. It's not bad. Does his own
Happens
rap
to
around
us
it.
all.
It does happen to us all. Trav, let's get on to this, all right? Today, I used an article from mentalfloss.com in preparation for this podcast, and that was written by Kate Erbland. Thanks, Kate. Really appreciate it. So, of course, our homework review for this week is True Lies from 1994, and that was directed by James Cameron, screenplay by James Cameron, based on La Totale by Claude Zidi, Simon Michael, Didner Kamanaka, something like that, Kamanika, Didner Kamika, sure, we'll go with it. Produced by James Cameron and Stephanie Austin, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger as Harry Tasker. A lot of people's names in 90s movies are Harry.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm typing that name over and over. I'm like, Harry again? The guy's name is Harry in this movie too? Come on, Harry.
Also
Harry.
seems very odd that for his job, he doesn't also switch his first name.
Nope, just his last name.
Just the last name. Yeah, and they can't crack it. Like, I came up clean.
It came up clean.
Okay.
It looks exactly like this very distinctive looking other guy, but that's okay.
Also named Harry. No, that's fine.
Jamie Lee Curtis as Helen Tasker, Tom Arnold as Albert Gibb Gibson, Bill Paxton as Simon, Tia Carrera as Juno Skinner, Art Malik as Salim Abu Aziz, Eliza Dushku as Dana Tasker, and I believe this is Eliza Dushku's first major motion picture role.
Believable.
Very believable. Grant Heslov as Facile, and Charlton Heston as Spencer Tribby. Tribbley. Had a budget of $100 million to $120 million, so nobody's really sure. True Lies, though, is reportedly the very first film to have a production budget that was over $100 million.
Jeez.
Now everybody's got $100 million budget.
Yeah.
And you're not
minimum.
Minimum nowadays. Box office of $378.9 million. That's $793.4 million in 2024.
That's huge.
The film was the top earning rated R new release of 1994, making $146.2 million domestically. The film edged out Speed for the honor, which made $121.2 million in its U.S. release, despite the fact that it was in theaters for an entire month longer than True Lies.
Damn.
That's pretty crazy. That's how this movie's a juggernaut.
Oh, yeah.
This movie was a juggernaut. True Lies was number one at the box office for just 1 week, though, however. When the film hit theaters in July of 1994, it bumped Forrest Gump from that top spot. So then the next week, Gump was back in first place. So that movie is a tour de force.
Yeah, for sure.
That movie. Do you like that movie?
I've never seen Forrest Gump. I've never seen.
That's a blind spot right there.
I mean, I've obviously heard.
Obviously. life is like a box of chocolates. You know that.
Yeah,
Mama says,
yeah.
Mama says. You know that stuff. You know the shrimp
I've
bit.
seen the memes,
Yeah.
like food in the break room, and they show Forrest
Yeah.
running down the street.
Yeah.
You know.
I just felt like running. I did see so since it was political season, and we try to stay out of politics in this podcast completely, I saw a couple of really funny, joke political yard signs.
Yeah.
One of them was Megatron for our all-knowing ruler. That was pretty funny. I liked that
Nice.
one a lot. And one of them was like a split thing with Forrest and Gump, so as if it was two people.
Yeah.
And at the bottom it says, "We just felt like running." And I'm like, that's hilarious. That's funny. I've
That's
never
pretty
seen
good.
that one. Trav, so with all that out of the way, should we hit the breakdown?
We should probably break it down.
We'll break it down.
One thing I gotta say is Bill Paxton looks way different in this movie.
He does. I mean, obviously, he visited our podcast as Chet a few
Yeah.
episodes ago.
Just totally different.
He
I don't know
looks
what it is, but
Greasy.
I knew he was in the movie. Then I watched it and didn't realize it, and now I look again. I'm like, holy crap, that's the dude from Weird Science.
They
They don't look anything because
he's-
of the haircut.
The haircut. He's not as bulky as Chet was
Yeah.
in the movie, and that greasy hair. It looks like they didn't put any makeup on him at
Yeah.
all for the movie. Like he just looks terrible in the movie, which is he's supposed to be that greasy car salesman.
Yeah.
Greasy car. Which, by the way, Kristen and I have been shopping for cars. And the car buying experience, it's been a long time since I bought a car. Last car we bought was in 2018, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's very much different now than I remember. Everybody is like, this is the price. There's no haggling. This is the price. This is the price. This is the price.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? You're not even going to move on it a little bit? Nope, this is the price. I'm like, all right, I guess this is the price.
All right.
All right, so.
See you later.
Yeah, that 2012 Sentra with 107,000 miles on it is it's not doing well. Time for a new car.
Kick in the bucket.
Time for a new car. All right, back to True Lies. Our movie opens up in Switzerland. This film is based on Claude Ziti's 1991 French film comedy called La Totale. The original film has plenty in common with Cameron's feature. For instance, the character of Simon, played in Ziti's film by Michael Beaujon. It's a French name. I don't know how to say it. With Bill Paxton taking on the part in Cameron's film, is a sleazy car dealer in both movies. So
Nice.
It's kind of a carbon copy. Just
Yeah.
a carbon copy. There are, of course, some differences between the two features. In Ziti's film, the bad guys are intent on blowing up a French football stadium, while obviously Cameron's wants to nuke Miami.
Yeah. Obviously.
So we are at Lake Chapeau with what is an obvious model and matte painting, right? When it opens up, pulls on the lake, I'm like,
Yeah.
that water looks pretty bad. Like it looks pretty bad, but that's okay. It still sets the scene. It's still pretty good. Some sort of swanky soiree of some kind with the richest people in the world.
So definitely something evil.
Definitely. Evil or not, our buddy Arnold, Harry Tasker, is there to infiltrate for unknown reasons.
Yep.
We have no idea why he's doing this.
No idea.
No idea whatsoever. He might as well be Solid Snake.
Yeah.
Does this movie not open up exactly like Metal Gear Solid 1998?
Yeah.
It's like the exact same thing. I was waiting for his codex to ring and talk to somebody on that thing, but it didn't happen. That's all right. Harry busts through the ice and is instantly seen and shot and killed.
No.
Not the case.
No.
Although he should have been, because it was basically daylight out there with how bright. But that's okay. That ice was very thin also, which maybe could have been quite a bit thicker. I was really puzzled by this opening because they showed this gated off waterway. And I'm like, I don't understand what this is until subsequent watch throughs. I'm like, oh, it's like a private slip for their private boat because they're probably a billionaire.
Yep.
Now I get it. So he changes into a tux. He did not get killed. And then he plants a bomb while Harry's support crew is watching with a very large telescope from a van parked on the road, which also is not obvious at all.
Yeah.
Tom Arnold is already insufferable for me in this movie.
Yeah.
Did you like Tom Arnold in this movie?
Not really.
Not one bit for me. I was like, Tom, be funnier, please.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be the funny guy.
Because he is funnier.
Yes.
But
yes.
he's not in this movie.
No, he's mostly annoying to me.
Yeah.
And back-to-back watch-throughs made him even more annoying.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, dude. And there was a couple of times where he looked like he might have been kind of coked out during this movie.
It's possible.
He was grinding them teeth a couple of times in some back of the scenes. I'm like, oh, dude, chill out with that jaw, man.
A little less obvious, please.
A little less obvious, please. So we're inside the building now, and Harry's acting like he's been there before.
Confidence gets you a long way.
Apparently it does, because he just is waltzing in there, quite literally, almost.
Yeah.
Moving further into the building, Harry scales the outside of the home to gain access to the second floor. Their plan is to steal some files from a computer that is very mid-90s Windows, which I love.
Yeah.
I really, really love. They're stealing files to thwart the stereotypical terrorists,
Yep.
Middle Eastern men.
Yep.
It's very stereotypical terrorists in a 90s film. Harry runs across Juno Skinner, and she's an antiques dealer. Outside Harry's point of entry, it is discovered. It didn't take too long, but it is discovered, so that's all right. So instead of getting out of there, like you'd think he would want to do, would probably be de-assing the area immediately. He's like, I'm going to tango with this hot babe.
Yeah. Harry, you don't have time to tango.
The guards are definitely onto him. They end up stealing the files, so yay, they did it. They got those files. And Harry continues to tango. All the while, the guards are watching him closely. They come because he comes down from the second story, and they're all like talking and watching him and like surrounding him. There should have been something happening on the floor with all those people. They knew who he was.
Right.
They were watching him.
At least show them, touching their earpiece.
I don't know. It was
like,
just weird to me.
Who's this giant burly man here?
It was very, very, very weird. And then one of Tom Arnold's Gibbs' weirdest lines. They love to say bitch in this movie.
Yeah.
They love to say bitch in this movie.
Harry, seconds count, buddy. Ditch the bitch.
Every time I'm like, that seems really mean. Why are you doing that? Don't be that mean. Harry pulls Juno's number before he gets out of there, so way to go, Harry.
There we go.
Schwarzenegger may have been very comfortable with the action sequences in this film, but he needed extra help in a different area. He had to take tango lessons prior to filming to give his Harry Tasker all those smooth moves on the dance floor. I don't know what he was learning because he didn't really dance that much. He was just kind of walking around with her and dipping her a little bit. He didn't really do anything too advanced.
And it's been a long time since I've seen Wayne's World, but isn't she the chick from Wayne's World?
Yes,
Okay.
she is.
That's
That
what I
movie, her role in that, I love her in that movie.
Okay.
I like her in this movie too. I feel like she kind of fell off the face of the earth after like 1997.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
What happened to you, Tia?
Because I'm thinking clearly she was like the babe.
Yeah,
But-
she was the it babe of the moment right
Yeah.
now. And that's why she's in this movie. And What happened to you, Tia?
What happened?
To you, Tia? Anyways, Harry has an exit strategy.
It's called walk out the front gate. Ballsy, stupid, but ballsy.
It's true. Gib calls it like it is. It does not work.
It does not work.
So the chase is on, and Tom Arnold can't drive.
No, it's called ice, and it gets a little slick.
What is that line? Who writes that line and is like, that's a great line?
Yeah.
That's a great one-liner. It's not. It's called ice and it gets a little slick.
Yeah.
That's okay. Womp womp. With Harry on the run and the guards are in hot pursuit, the hounds are released. Thank you, Mr. Burns. Harry smashes those dogs' heads together and says, stay. Like, stay. And those dogs were obviously like rubber dogs.
Obviously.
They just like flop around when he smashes their heads. Very funny. So it's full-on escape time now.
He's getting chased by like 100 dudes, including guys on skis and snowmobiles. And just like every 90s action movie, they all miss every last shot somehow, and he nails every shot in one shot.
Every time. And Harry's not a fast runner.
No.
He's like walking through the forest.
Yeah.
This movie, I'm going to talk about it now. I was going to wait a little bit. I'm going to talk about it now. This movie, when I was watching, I'm like, man, this movie reminds me of GoldenEye so much. Like GoldenEye. I keep thinking GoldenEye. This movie came out before GoldenEye.
True.
Yes. So I'm like, did GoldenEye like kind of take some cues from True Lies because it was such a box office success?
I think so.
Even the way it looks, like the physically, like the way the image looks on screen looks like GoldenEye.
It's really weird because watching this, it was making me think of GoldenEye too. That's really weird.
When in actuality, GoldenEye should make you think of True Lies.
Right.
Harry managed to stay ahead of all of them. Plus, like you said, those guys can't hit shit.
Yeah.
Also, no one is the slightest bit alarmed at the party.
No.
There's like machine gun fire, like a dozen snowmobiles.
He just set off a bomb outside. No.
One shot of these like people taking cover in the building would be good, but no, they're just still doing their thing.
Back to the tango.
Back to the tango. We also get some extended shots of Arnold's stunt double running. It's so obviously not him.
Yeah.
It's like
kind of like the bathroom scene.
Kind of like the bathroom scene and the scene where he rides the horse onto the.
Yeah.
Like, they just didn't care.
They just didn't care.
I mean, his stunt double does look a lot like him.
He does.
But it's so when you get those extended shots of his face, it pulled me out of the movie a couple of times. Where I'm like, it just isn't him. It just isn't him.
Why is it so hard to get the hair on point?
I don't know.
I think that would be the one thing you can seal the deal with.
Right.
But every time his back is turned, you can clearly tell it's not Arnold just because of the hair.
Just because of the hair. Put a bald cap on that guy and give him a wig.
Yeah, come
on. Harry ends up meeting up with the rest of his team at the backup rendezvous point, and they still make the flight home. So there you go. Why not? He's a family man. He's got to get home. They still made the flight. So back home in D.C., and Harry Tasker is reassuming his cover identity, including a gift for his daughter. Don't forget the wedding. Don't forget the wedding ring. What a team! What a team!
Sleep fast, buddy.
Another.
What the hell
That's
does
not.
that mean?
That's not a saying.
No, it isn't. Sorry, Tom.
Sleep fast. It's like Cameron's like, I guess he's gonna say sleep fast. He just ad-libbed that line.
Yeah.
That's not a thing, but we're not gonna recut it because Tom is off his rocker.
Yep.
The next morning, Harry presents his daughter with that snow globe. It's lame. She hates it. I mean, she's a teenager. Why would she want a snow globe immediately in the garbage?
Right.
She doesn't care about it whatsoever.
Come on.
Harry is out of touch with his teenage daughter.
By a lot.
By a lot. We get a little small talk with Harry and his wife, Helen. They need some work done, and it's going to cost $600. So Helen slept with the plumber, and he knocked off $100.
Hey.
That's good, honey. Thank you. That's good.
Clearly not listening whatsoever.
Harry is also out of touch with his wife. Gibb shows up with a hidden camera. Why?
I don't know.
So we can see it later in the movie.
Exactly. But yeah, check this out. He just sets it up and perfectly points it to his coat, and then,
And I feel like a pack of cigarettes. I know everybody still smoke. A lot of people still smoked in 1994. It's way more prevalent than it is now. You could still smoke in restaurants, inside, everywhere, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But the putting the camera in a pack of cigarettes seems like a weird thing to put it in.
Very.
Put it in a billfold? Put it in, I don't know. What else could you put it in? I mean,
your sleeve and your arm?
I don't know.
Something. Like, because you're looking behind you anyway.
Just a random pack of cigarettes
Just
sitting
carrying that pack of cigarettes.
That's just kind of
That's what people did in the 90s.
They
dude.
did. They
Yep.
did. Bumming cigs to everybody.
Yep, bumming cigs. Oh, whoa, can't have that one. That's my camera.
That's my camera cigarette. Well, that camera, it comes with some glasses, and those glasses have a tiny TV in them.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think the technology exists for a television that small, right?
No.
It looked like a cathode ray tube television in that glass. I don't
Yeah.
understand. I don't know. Whatever. Moving on. Dana is stealing money, and she has a bad boy BF on a motorcycle. She's trouble.
I remember the first time I got shot out of a cannon.
That's one of the only funny lines from Gibb.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's such a throwaway line. Nobody acknowledges it. He just says it, but it's funny.
Yeah.
I thought that one was funny. Gibb and Harry, they head off to work on a secret floor in an office building, while Harry and Gibb discuss Dana stealing the money.
She's probably stealing the money to get an abortion.
That's a record scratch in this movie. Like, why are you talking about abortions in this
Yeah.
action comedy?
Yeah.
It's weird.
She's 14.
She's 14.
She's 14, which
Annie.
Harry doesn't know.
No, he does
asks
not.
Gibb how old she is.
He does. I missed that. You are right. He does. Anyways, they work for the Omega Sector.
Ooh.
The Omega Sector. Janice, the secretary, she was ready to shoot those dudes.
Yeah, like, so
Locked
they're
and loaded.
hypothetically in there multiple times a week.
Yep.
But there's still the risk that they're
Compromised.
Yeah.
They're compromised. I'm going to blow these dudes
I found
away.
that so weird. Every time I watched it, yep, she's ready to shoot them.
She should have sneezed or coughed or something and accidentally squeezed off a round. And
Yeah,
just have it ping around a little
something.
bit. That would have been kind of funny.
Or have one of them fuck up their digit or something,
Yeah.
and the red lights go off.
There you
and
go.
She just fires a shot. Okay.
Yeah, they could have played her as like a bumbling secretary. And
Yeah.
had her like drop the gun, it shoots.
Right.
and-
Instead, they're super friendly, and she says nothing.
yeah, and she's like, I'm going to shoot you.
I will shoot you.
I have no problem shooting you. Well, it's time for Charlton Heston, and he tells Harry that he screwed the pooch. That's my best Charlton Heston. It's not very good. On the last mission, that is. Although they argue it was fruitful. They got lots of money and the stolen nukes. They found out about those things. All the while Spencer, he wields a knife this whole scene. He's just holding on to a knife. Is that supposed to say, hey, I'm a badass? I have a knife. Does he have an eye patch because he accidentally stabbed himself in the eye with that knife?
Yeah, seriously.
Anyways, he tasks them all with going and finding the nukes and who exactly has them. So over to Helen. She might be cheating.
Yeah.
We don't know yet. She might be cheating. Back with the Omega Sector. Antiques. The money was used for antiques. That's what they say. That's a lot of antiques. Something seems kind of fishy.
Yeah.
So that means they need to send in the specialists to reacquaint with Juno Skinner. Harry loves the whole thing with Gibb. I can't remember the other guy's name, the third guy in their group. What is his name?
I can't think of it
I'm
either.
totally blanking. But they make fun of Harry, and they do their own little tango.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of funny because he's going to go tango with Juno, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure, go. Okay. Harry and Juno. She is a very shrewd businesswoman and very, very smart. She deals mostly in Persian antiques.
Well, Mr. Rehnquist, do you see anything you like?
Maybe. Maybe. Next, Juno gets slapped twice by some guy in a jumpsuit.
Yeah.
That was aggressive.
It was very aggressive.
Very aggressive.
Did we need the second slap?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think she learned whatever lesson you were trying to teach her in the first one.
Yeah. She's obviously working for that dude, and he's the one that's actually in charge. He becomes a very pivotal character in the movie. We
Yeah.
don't know his name yet,
I
but
think
it's
she
some
says,
name.
luckily you're paying me.
She does say
Otherwise,
that.
I'd have a problem with those bitch slaps to the face.
He is hip to the fact, though, that they are being watched. He's like, there's people all over the place. They're watching us. They need to find out who Harry Tasker is. Harry, he gets a call from Helen. It's his birthday. He promises to be home by 8. I promise. I promise I'll be home. I promise.
Yeah, he says, like, obviously, I promise.
I promise.
Why? What do you mean? It's not obvious.
Because that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, dude.
Next, Harry and Gibb, they're in their car in his sweet Blazer. That thing is badass. I
Yeah,
wish
it
I had a
is.
1994 Chevy Blazer.
Dude.
Love that thing. They're being followed. So it's moving on now. They're being followed.
Yeah, and Harry gets out and uses the hidden camera and the pack of smokes and the glasses that make him look like Ray Charles.
I think Cameron purposely was making Arnold look as much like the Terminator as he could in
Had
this.
to be.
Because the trench coat, the glasses, he's even like doing the mechanical walk and the shoulder turning without turning. Like Cameron must have been like, be the Terminator. He's like, I can do that.
I can do that.
I can do that. And of course, because Cameron directed that first Terminator movie.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's weird how Gibb called Harry a dickhead after he coughed from the cigarette.
He's like, dickhead. What?
Like, what?
I don't understand that one bit.
You know he doesn't smoke.
It's Tom ad-libbing his lines coked out of his brain.
Yeah.
Allegedly, maybe. I don't want Tom Arnold to sue us. I know he's a listener.
Yeah, he's a big listener. So sorry about that whole first part. You are funny. Even in this movie. Just kidding. Two of the dudes in the car follow Harry into the bathroom.
Whom Harry calls Beavis and Butthead. So
Which I love.
It's a good reference.
Anytime we get a little podcast in a podcast is awesome.
It's funny to see these things in the 90s. It showed, like, in this movie, we get a reference to Beavis and Butthead.
Yep.
In Basic Instinct, we get a reference to The Simpsons, of all things, with that keychain. That's how prevalent those two shows were in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
They were a big deal. Like, they're making it into major motion pictures.
Right.
It's interesting to see them in there.
What a fun action sequence
It really
this is. Using the hidden camera to watch the dudes. Lots of gunfire, some great fight choreography, straight razor knife play.
Love it.
By the buff dude who says nothing.
Nothing.
Urinal slam.
That's patented, like, bathroom action scene. Somebody's head is getting slammed into a urinal. Cool off. Cool off.
Stay cool, bird boy.
Seriously.
For real, though. Plus, the dude in there is just trying to take a shit.
That's
poor old guy just
pretty
trying
funny.
to take a shit.
It's pretty funny.
And he doesn't get up at any point in this. He's just like, I'm going to stay in here and keep trying to shit.
He's like, I'm trying to pinch it off. I can't.
This is a good newspaper article. But bad news, though. The third dude showed up, and he just starts blasting.
So anyways, I just started blasting.
I love the suspenseful stall door kick-ins.
That is cool. I love that. It's pretty cookie cutter, like you expect something like that, but I still like it.
I love how he blasts like every stall except for the last stall. I'm just going to stop there. Like, he's not out of bullets because otherwise he would have reloaded.
Yep.
But no, he just stops there. And then Harry, in, I don't know, what is it, a 3-4 foot long stall, he has enough momentum to bust through that door and slide 20 feet into the next part of the bathroom and grab that pistol again.
I didn't even think about that.
Just sliding.
He's got some massive quads. Dude's got a 64-inch vertical.
Seriously. But Harry escapes and no one can shoot anyone.
Period.
Obviously. The action moves to the street, and Gibb uses a lamppost as cover.
Oh, thank God.
And yeah, that's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's so unrealistic to me.
It's so unrealistic, but it's supposed to be played for comedy.
Right.
But it's still just so unrealistic.
It's so unrealistic. It does lead to the checking the balls are still there.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Thank God.
That did get me to laugh.
Yeah.
Harry screams,
"Get to the car!"
and Salim steals a motorcycle, but that's okay because Harry Commodore's a horse. Because he's just good at everything. And Salim refuses to get on that bike for any reason, just as Harry never gets off that horse.
Nope.
They need to make it quick because
my horse is getting tired.
Your horse?
Yes, I said my horse.
Love the chase through the hotel lobby and kitchen.
Sorry, excuse me.
That band didn't stand a chance.
Not one bit. It's a funny bit. I like that. It was funny. Kind of reminded me of like the movie Titanic for some reason. I don't know why, just because of the whole band in there and everything is chaotic. But still, I thought that was funny. The dude with the missed note on the saxophone. I mean, it's a funny bit. I like it.
For sure. Finally out to the parking garage, and somehow Harry is keeping up.
Somehow.
Yep.
Somehow.
Sure. And now we're in the mall.
Yeah, we're in a mall.
We're in a mall. And got to get to those elevators. And funny bit, though, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's like almost Looney Tunes-esque, right? Where they're
Right.
following each other in an elevator, just staring at each other. It's very Looney
That
Tunes-esque,
horse is
really.
very calm for how claustrophobic it should be feeling right
Very, very,
now.
very.
But they stare at each other. Salim takes a lady hostage, and an old dude compliments Harry's horse.
Oh, that's a fine animal.
Because the wife is like, say something,
That's
honey.
a fine animal.
That's a fine animal.
That's not what she meant.
That's not what she meant. And we get a second extended shot of Arnold's stunt double when he rides the horse into the fountain.
That one's even more obvious than the first one.
Yeah.
Like it's just like that's not Arnold.
It's
That's
brutal.
Not Arnold.
But they make it to the top floor,
Yes,
and
they do.
Salim goes and lets his hostage go and stay there. Don't move.
Just lets her go.
Just lets her go.
That's fine.
I was just using you for the trip to the
elevator.
top. Desperate Salim jumps his bike off the roof and lands in a pool that was way too far away for him to make that. Way too far away. It's across the street, is it not?
Yes. And
It's across the street.
and he got like a 25-foot run up.
25-foot run.
I got it.
Never been on a bike before, but I feel like if I get her to about 60, we should be good.
And it's funny too because obviously they demonstrate that the pool across the street is much lower than the level that they're at.
Yeah.
But the angle that he takes off at is as if he went off of a ramp.
Yeah.
Like there's an arcing angle. It should have just been like straight down.
Straight down. Should have been like the Matrix. Like he thinks he's going to make it
Yeah.
across. He gets about a halfway and the Looney Tunes falls to the ground. But nope, he makes it somehow.
Somehow, some way.
And Harry is going to jump that horse right off the building. He doesn't give two shits.
Nope.
Like he knows the
Let's do
horse will not survive, but he's going to give it a shot. But yeah, that horse thinks a little differently.
Yeah, I really wish that they would have actually tried to make that jump and just played it.
Yeah.
As realistic.
Made him like flip off of the horse. But, animal cruelty.
I was-
probably shouldn't have done
I was already laughing when he backed the horse up.
I was too.
I was like, "Are you gonna do this? Is this in this
the
movie?"
first time I watched it, I somehow missed like the angle that Salim took on it, and
Yeah.
I had to rewind. I'm like, he saw him jump off this with the bike, and he genuinely believes he can make it with the horse.
Yes,
So I
he
had to
does.
rewind it, and I'm like, okay, he genuinely believes he can make it.
They
Okay.
should have just gone for it.
But I wish they would have made that jump.
Yeah, definitely.
Schwarzenegger almost died during this scene when the horse he was riding during the sequence got spooked by a camera boom and started rearing up near the edge of a very steep drop. The actor estimates it was about 90 feet from the ground. Arnold managed to slip off the horse in time, and a stuntman pulled him to safety.
That would have been interesting. Arnold Schwarzenegger dies on the set of True Lies.
Yeah. But, Salim gets away.
What the hell were you thinking? I had that guy and you let him get away. Look at me when I'm talking to you. He's talking to the horse.
He's talking to the horse.
Look at me.
But back home, Harry missed his birthday party.
I'm sorry. Thank you for the party.
And he's sorry. He knows Helen is upset. Yeah, it was great. But it's okay. Helen forgives him.
Why did she even try at this point?
I don't know. I really don't know.
And it's not like it was a big blowout. It was just his wife and his daughter.
Yeah,
They went too overboard for his birthday.
definitely. At this point, just go buy a cake from the store.
Yep.
You know he's not going to show up anyway.
Leave it on the
Come
counter.
on. Plus, I don't want my cat licking the frosting before I put that on the
Agreed. Agreed.
But back at headquarters, and Harry figures out exactly who he was chasing. It's the aforementioned Salim, a real terrorist. He formed the Crimson Jihad because the other terrorist groups were not extreme enough. They call him the Sand Spider.
Why?
Oh yeah, Charlton Heston is in the room. Because it's scary. Impressive, gentlemen. It would have been even more impressive if you knew where he was.
We'll get him.
So they try to get him. But first, Harry needs to smooth things over with Helen.
So that is the last time we see Charlton Heston in this movie.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. No more Charlie.
Mission's not over, but his job is. Yep. He had like 2 months PTO.
Yeah, something like
Just
that.
Doesn't matter where we are in this case, I'm out of here. He really messed up last night, so put the terrorists possibly having nukes in Washington, D.C. on hold.
It's all right. I gotta go see my wife because I feel bad about last night. Don't mind the nukes.
Don't mind the nukes. Pause. Okay. Anyways, Harry reveals that Helen might be cheating with someone named Simon, her mystery man. Is he a spy or is he just a nooner?
It's just a nooner.
Just a nooner. Helen goes to meet Simon. Harry is really broken up about it.
Helen is having an affair. He kept saying Helen.
Yeah.
Quit saying Helen.
Stop it, dude. Just walks right in front of the bus.
Yes, he
Bus
does.
has no patience for him.
That bus would have crumbled around Arnold. If
That would have been a good part of the movie. Gib tries to console Harry. He doesn't do a good job.
No.
He's been there. What kind of a sick bitch takes the ice cube trays out of the freezer?
That's pretty funny because obviously his ex-wife really hated him.
Yeah. Well, it makes a little bit of sense.
Stop cheering me up.
What did you think was going to happen, Harry? She's a flesh and blood woman, and you're never there.
Ooh.
I mean, that should be obvious, but
It should be obvious.
Apparently, it's not. That's that time to concentrate on work. Women can't live with them, can't kill them.
Okay, Tom.
That's another one of them. Shouldn't have been in there.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay. Time for a stressful family dinner. Harry catches her in a lie. She is definitely cheating.
Yep.
Or at least that's what we think.
That's what Harry thinks.
Back at the Omega Sector. Harry gets Gib to tap Helen's phone. Just put a pause on this whole thing. I really want to know what's going on with my wife.
So, yes. So this is where the whole Simon section of this movie seems very unneeded.
Very unneeded.
This movie is 2 hours and 35 minutes long. Does not need to be that long.
It doesn't.
Maybe they could have shortened Simon's bit up a little bit. It's supposed to all be played for comedy, and it is like the funny part of the movie. But, man, just give me the straight action, I think, is all I want out of this. That's okay.
And I like how Gib tells him, we really can't do this. That's a breach of security. We don't have the resources. You're not allowed to do it. But then they just do it.
They just do it. He's
then
like,
they just do
sure.
it. Sure. Well, I warned him. But, whatever. Harry discovers Simon, and via transcript of their phone calls, 1 o'clock tomorrow, he needs her.
I need you.
We're back at home. Lunch tomorrow, Helen?
Nope, she's shopping with Allison.
A likely story. You lying bitch. Harry bugs Helen's purse, because that's what you do.
Yeah, that's a trusting relationship.
I like how it's literally downpouring outside. He chucks the purse out there, brings it back in the downpour, and it's not suspicious.
It looked like it was suede, too, so that purse is ruined.
Ruined. What the hell happened to my purse?
Jesus Christ.
The next day, Harry and Gib follow Helen to Chinatown. Simon might be a spy?
No.
Helen
is just very gullible.
Very gullible. It seems obvious to me immediately that Simon is a fake, and we get that confirmation
very quickly. They don't try to
quickly.
disguise it very much at all, really.
They're kind of wondering, oh my God, who's he working for?
Right.
Is it to get to you? And then they realize he's using what they did to describe his job. So that's pretty obvious. He tries to take credit for what Harry and Gib did a few nights before. The showdown with Salim. Turns out Simon is a used car salesman.
The worst scum of the earth.
And of course, Simon and Harry go on a test drive in the Corvette, and that car is all about the pussy, according to Simon. Let's face it, man, the vet makes him wet.
Okay. The ironic misogyny is funny in this movie.
It is. And he gets the karma, so it's
he
okay.
Does. That's
if
why
you're
it's
pissed
okay.
at Simon at this point, just keep watching.
Yeah. He also, incidentally, comes completely clean to Harry about his con.
Yeah.
He's like, I con these stupid women to sleep with them. That's what I do. And so it's time for Harry's turn to drive.
I love. What about the husbands? Dickless. It's time for Harry's turn to drive. Hey, keep it under 90, will ya? I still got my dental work to do.
So they start talking about Helen directly, basically.
Married to a boring jerk.
A boring jerk?
She's like all these babes. You get their pilot lit and they can start a leaf blower.
That's a funny line.
That's a pretty funny
That's a
line.
funny line, and it's very Chet-esque. Like Chet would say that in Weird Science,
Yeah,
right? That's
for
something.
sure.
That's something Chet would say. Then he says that she has an ass like a 10-year-old boy.
What?
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 Like what? Like
Look at the buns on that.
like a 10-year-old boy? Don't say that.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
And why are you chasing a woman who you think's butt looks like a 10-year-old boy?
All good questions, Trav. All good questions. And that's all Harry can take. And with one punch, he kills Simon. It's only a daydream, but I love the one punch kill. Just,
Oh, yeah.
You're dead, Simon.
Gotta love the first time you watch this and think that happened.
Yes.
Like, holy shit. All
Yeah,
right.
he just killed him. But instead, Harry power slide parks that vet, which I feel like would be impossible in that vehicle.
It would be very impossible the way he drifts into the spot. Okay, sure.
That night, and Gib and Harry, they review the latest transcripts from Helen's phone calls with Simon. Page 10 happens to be missing. Give me the goddamn page.
It's not good news.
Helen and Simon are meeting tonight. Harry does what is logical and activates government agents to track her down.
And they go for it. Like, what the hell? Okay, sure. That's a misappropriation of sector funds. But again, they do it.
So they do it because Gib got a BJ one time, and that blew some other sting. And so Harry says, "You tell on me, I tell on you." Like, that's it. That's all the convincing.
So they had to give, like, no information to these people, just like, we need to crack down on this. They didn't know it was his wife.
Nope.
None of that.
They're just activated.
Okay. Sure.
Harry abducts his wife and Simon. Very, very smooth.
Yeah.
I love the line.
She's got her head in the guy's lap. Yahoo!
Maybe she's sleepy.
Maybe she's sleepy.
That's actually James Cameron's voice. He says that line in this movie.
Nice.
So that's kind of cool, right?
Nice.
He puts himself in there. Simon and Helen get followed to Simon's hideout.
His home in his trailer.
They have wine in plastic cups.
Yep.
Very, very classy.
Fancy.
He feeds her some story about needing a wife to travel with him to Paris. She agrees to do it for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And Simon tries to bang Helen.
Yeah.
Very awkwardly.
Just let yourself go.
Helen can't do it.
If not for me, do it for your country.
Now I'm realizing, looking back on this movie and us talking about it, Simon is the better. So I take back that I want Simon out of the movie. I take it back. Simon is the better comic relief than Gib.
He definitely
It's
is.
almost like Tom Arnold was performing poorly, so they're like, all right,
We're going to have to add some scenes for Simon.
Simon, it's just
going to
all
bump it
on
up
you.
over 2 hour runtime. Tom's really dropping the ball. We're going to need more Bill backs.
I really hope Tom Arnold never hears this podcast because we're just tearing him to shreds.
Sorry, Tom.
The lights cut, and they cut the front off of his trailer.
Yeah.
The whole front of the trailer.
That's
in
what
like,
you do.
In like 3 seconds.
Yeah. They don't hear anything.
Nope.
It's just boom, laser cut.
And Harry comes flying in. Simon immediately flips and tells them to take Helen.
Take her. Take her.
Helen gets Gib in the balls, which is funny, and they take them away.
Yep.
Helen goes to a room that is very reminiscent for me of our last movie.
Definitely.
It's almost as if they're like, we need to have a scene like this because this is a very popular movie. So
Right.
we have a scene. Helen gets questioned. The voice disguise kills me
Yeah.
because it still sounds exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sit down. I said sit down. That's with
Harry?
Oh, damn it, she knows it's me. It's a nice layer of humor to put that in there because it's whether he meant to do it or not, the fact that it does sound still exactly like Harry. Maybe that's meant to be, probably not. Still funny. I love how they kind of go back and forth. It's the one time in the movie for me where their whole buddy cop dynamic actually shines
Yeah.
and is actually funny. So I do like that. I do like that about this scene.
Proves that Arnold's voice is undisguisable. There's no technology on the planet that can disguise that voice.
Definitely. So they ask Helen if she still loves Harry, basically.
Right. Harry? He's a good man.
She was just a little bored in the bedroom.
So sex with him wasn't exactly ringing your bell lately.
Thanks, Gib. That one made me laugh when he
Yeah.
said that. One made me laugh. I like that. Helen just wanted something outrageous to do, basically. She just wanted to be needed, trusted, and feel special. I mean, I can identify with that.
Yeah, so she was going to go to Paris, even though she's the only parent who watches their kid. But
Right.
sure, okay, yeah, whatever.
She felt like life was slipping away from her. She wanted to be reckless and wild.
I fucking did it. I don't give a shit whether you understand that or not.
Midlife crisis much, Helen?
Full
Hey,
force.
we've all been there. Helen has had enough and tries to smash the window with the stool. I feel like that glass should have been bulletproof, but it is not.
But it is not.
on.
And I also feel like it should have broke with how much she was shattering it.
Very true.
But sure.
Very true. Anyways, it works and the questioning ends. She could be telling the truth. She does still love Harry, so there's only one solution for Helen's problem. She needs to work for them. And Harry is going to give her a little adventure.
Yeah.
He's going to put her life on the line.
Put her life on the line and stall the mission at hand even longer. And it's okay.
And his logic for it is because this is what she wants.
This is what you want.
She wants to almost die. And she basically gets blackmailed into doing it, so she kind of had no choice. Your
Yeah.
life will be destroyed if you don't do it. You'll go to federal prison. Your family will be ruined. So will you do it?
Yeah, as if she has
Yeah,
a choice.
Duh. You will be contacted. Your contact's name will be Boris, and yours will be Natasha? No, Doris.
Doris. Boris and Doris.
I like her puzzled look because, Boris and Natasha is a reference to the moose, cartoon moose.
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Rocky and Bullwinkle. That's what that reference is to you for all those kiddies out there. Schwarzenegger was always going to play Harry, but Helen could have been someone quite different. Jodie Foster was originally cast in the role. Do you think she would have done well, Jodie Foster?
I mean, I've only seen her in Silence of the Lambs, which she's incredible.
Yes.
But if you're asking me to take Jamie Lee Curtis out of this movie, no. That's
There's
a
no
hard
way.
pass.
That's a hard
She
pass.
is a babe.
Agreed. Jodie Foster had to turn down the role because she signed on for the lead in Nell. Have you ever seen Nell? She plays a woman that has been sequestered in the woods her whole life without any human contact. So she has no she has no speech capability or anything like that.
Raised by wolves.
Basically, I saw it once with my family, and Jodie Foster is topless in that movie, and that movie came out in 1994. So I was 10.
Yeah.
That was a surprise, I think, to my parents that Jodie Foster was topless in that movie.
Whoa, Drew, look away.
Fast forward. Other actresses rumored for Helen included Rosanna Arquette, Annette Bening, which seems weird because Annette Bening would have been fairly old in this movie.
Yeah.
Gina Davis, I could see it. I think Gina Davis could have pulled off the physicality of this movie. Madonna, she was kind of pretty damn hot in 1994. Sharon Stone, that would have worked immensely well.
That would have worked.
That would have worked. Leah Thompson, that's kind of out of left field if you ask me, but I think it could have worked. Do you think she would have played it like her character in Back to the Future? Just really innocent and sweet?
Could have been.
I
Maybe a little
guess.
too innocent and sweet.
Deborah Winger, I'm drawing a blank on. Kim Basinger, that would have been good. I could have seen Kim in it. Joan Cusack, I don't think Joan could have done it.
Nah.
Melanie Griffith, yeah, sure. Jennifer Jason Leigh, Michelle Pfeiffer, yes.
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer would have excelled at the physicality of this role. She would have
yeah.
excelled at it. And Emma Thompson, so there you go.
That's crazy. We're talking, I think Jamie Lee Curtis and Sharon Stone and Michelle Pfeiffer might be top 3 babes we've had out of all the movies that we've done. And they were all up for this part.
Yeah, and they're probably the biggest female Hollywood stars at the time, in the world. So that's interesting that this movie was really lauded after by those in Hollywood, I think, because everybody wanted to be in it, it seemed like. Anyways, they dump Helen back at her car after all of this, and they almost dump Simon off the edge of a dam.
Yeah.
They scare the shit out of Simon. almost feel sorry for him.
Don't kill me. I haven't seen your faces.
So they take off their masks. Simon realizes it's the guy from the test drive.
Hey, he like immediately gets excited. Hey, you still want the vet? I'm not a spy. I'm a complete coward. I got a little dick. It's pathetic. Would a spy pee himself?
That was like spot on delivery of Simon from the movie. Spot on delivery. I love
mean,
it.
it was one of my favorite parts of the movie. I laughed so hard every time. I got a little dick. It's pathetic.
Harry and Gib, they end up letting him go. Get lost, dipshit, and then bang, 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 bang. Just shoot at him. Just shoot at him.
That was pretty funny.
It
was pretty funny shooting at his feet like that.
So we move back home with Harry and family. The next night, I hope so.
I hope
Was
so.
it the same night? That would have been hilarious if it was the same night. Harry presses Helen for some details on what happened. Last night must have been pretty exciting for you.
My flat tire?
Saved by the bell. The phone rings. Doris has been activated. She has a date at a hotel, and she needs to dress sexy. So she does. And she picks up an envelope at the front desk. She's like, Doris, envelope for Doris. Inside is a phone number and a bug for the phone. She is going to have to bang this guy in the room. No, she's not going to have to bang this guy. She's told not. But she does have to plant the bug before she leaves. Before Helen enters the hotel room, she rips the sleeves off her dress to look even more sexy. It works.
It definitely works, but yeah,
It works.
Lauren watching that is like, there is no way that dress rips perfectly like that. I'm sorry, but it's okay because it's needed.
It worked. Helen, she enters the room.
And it's obviously her husband.
She doesn't notice,
No.
but it's obviously her husband.
To be fair, she doesn't see him very often.
True. Very true. Harry, he's doing his best Kevin McAllister in this movie with the fun with real audio.
Gotta love when he has to rewind part of it, and he
Right.
does it perfectly.
Does it perfectly.
Just perfect.
And she didn't hear the audible click, clack, click, clack, you know?
No.
Nope,
Yep.
did not
She
hear
wasn't
that.
thrown off with
No,
the
no.
whole, not wearing any nylons. But, dang, Jamie Lee Curtis. That body is banging.
That body is banging.
Like, wow.
Like, you look at Jamie Lee Curtis in a whole new light after this.
Oh, definitely. It's funny that I had just watched Halloween not long before watching this, and then they make her look so old, like in the
Right.
beginning of the movie with the short hair and all that, and yeah.
Dang.
Yowza.
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 Yeah. Yowza.
Seriously. But you gotta love the awkward, sexy dance turns very sexy very quickly.
Very quickly.
First, she has no idea what she's doing,
Nope.
and
She's
next thing
like-
you know, she is a freaking pro.
A pro.
A pro. Helen is into it.
When she falls, that's an A+ bit. I love when she falls. That's
Absolutely
hilarious.
love it.
One of the-
Absolutely love it.
One of the funniest points of the whole movie.
Very believable.
Yes.
She gets right back up
Yeah.
and she's into it.
She kind of like dusts herself off a little bit
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
Like, "Oh, all right.
And Harry's into it,
Yeah,
obviously. He's like, holy
obviously.
shit, why am I not hanging out with my wife more? Because this is insane.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a side of his wife that he has either never seen or rarely seen.
I would go for
obviously.
never, probably.
I'm gonna go with never.
Yeah.
At least not since like the day they met. or
Probably,
something,
right.
But Curtis brought her own wardrobe to the movie. The bra and underwear set that she wears during Helen's famous striptease scene were her own.
Sexy.
They fit nicely, Jamie. Thank you for doing that. That was a good call on that. But things go sideways, as they tend to do in a movie. She drops the bug.
Uh-oh.
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 It's okay. Just pick that
Pick it
sucker up and
up.
shove it in your mouth. A little sucky on the finger.
Which was also funny. I want to believe that she played that for comedy the
Yeah.
whole when she was sucking on her finger.
Yeah.
Because it looked awkward. She had that weird look on her face. I'm giving Jamie Lee Curtis all the credit in the world with
For
that.
sure.
She is playing that for a laugh.
For sure. Here he can't take it anymore, and it's time for the reveal. Now, lie on the bed. No, you got to do this one.
Now lie on the bed. Well, I think it's on the tape.
It's on the tape. It's on the tape. Okay. So he said the tape says, now lie on the bed and close your eyes. What did Harry think was going to happen when he says,
"It's me, Harry"? Like, do you think she was gonna be like, "Oh, that's okay.
"Oh, that's okay.
I'm gonna go over to the bed. It's me, Harry.
It's me, Harry."
Isn't this funny?
We don't get that far. Helen smashes him in the head with the phone, which I also love that part too.
Yes.
Just because you get that little glimpse of, is she down to cheat? I don't know. She acted like she wasn't. No, fuck no. She's gonna hit his ass with the fucking phone.
Love it.
Love it. She still doesn't know it's Harry yet until he calls her name out.
Helen!
That's my husband. No time for talking, though, because now shit actually hit the fan.
Yes, it did.
They get abducted by the terrorists.
I did not see this coming.
At all.
At all.
At all.
At all.
Thought we're going to have a little heartwarming moment.
Nope.
Like, hey, I've been a spy.
Gun-wielding
for a
terrorists.
long friggin' time. I never told you. But that is not good for them. They get taken to the airport. Juno is there. Harry and Helen get drugged with a little truth serum.
Well, not the truth serum yet. This is where they get the shots in the neck. This is where they get the shots in the neck.
This is just the tranquilizer. Over to the terrorist stronghold, and the action is about to get ramped up for the next hour, baby.
Thank God. I'm ready for some wall-to-wall action time.
Definitely. With how the movie starts, did you imagine it would go this long till shit starts to get crazy?
No.
I mean, there is the bathroom scene, but minus that, it's like, what the hell happened in the middle of this movie?
I need more action.
Need some more action.
Yep.
Juno's role in all of this is shown to us, smuggling nukes inside priceless artifacts. Yeah, sure.
How did they get them in there?
Seriously.
They would have to be fakes.
They gotta be fake.
But she presents them as if they put them inside these thousands-year-old artifacts.
Oh, they've been in there.
for 2,000 years.
1,000 years.
They would have to be fakes.
But, the terrorists want Harry to give legitimacy to the nukes and to their organizations. So Harry tries to play dumb. Do you know what this is?
You need special machine? It's not gonna make her. He's a water heater. It's a water heater.
It's a water heater. Salim threatens Helen's life, and Harry comes clean. Harry knows exactly what those nukes are, and Helen can't believe that Harry is a spy. Her life has been a lie.
She hasn't come to this realization yet.
Nope.
Even though she's already been abducted with Harry. They're on a plane with terrorists who know who he is.
Right.
And now she is just coming to it because he knows some information about some nukes.
She in her head believes she got him involved into this somehow. It's like, what do you mean? He was the one at the tape recorder.
So weird, so weird.
But here, Arnold's got a great line.
What can I say? I'm a spy.
Whoops. Forgot to tell you. Helen punches Harry out.
Sorry, honey. Sorry.
Harry goes on camera and verifies to the world that Salim has a bunch of nukes. And they're going to blow up one as an example.
Yikes.
Sure. And then one every week until the USA meets their demands of pulling all soldiers out of the Middle East.
All right.
Sure. One problem, though, the camera's battery dies.
It's funny.
It's funny.
Is it funny?
It's funny.
It's funny.
It's funny.
It's funny.
Not to Salim.
Not to Salim, but it's funny. It's funny.
How much sweat that guy is perspiring is just hilarious.
Yes.
Could have been funnier. The joke seemed to fall a bit flat.
It did seem a little flat to me, but I feel like Salim probably should have just killed the dude.
Yeah.
Immediately gunshot to the head or something.
Boom.
But that's okay. It was still funny. Especially, it has that lead up where you can tell it's going to happen and the guy gets sweatier and sweatier and sweatier.
Right.
So I will settle on funny, but it could have been funnier.
Could have been better.
Could have been better.
Gibb and crew are tracking Helen via the transmitter in her purse, so that was a good call.
Yeah.
So the cavalry's on the way. Bad luck for them, though. The transmitter is found and crushed.
Yep, that happens pretty dang quick.
That is pretty quick, yep. They're like, oh, yeah, here's the pinpoint location. We lost the transmitter.
We
lost it. Extra bad news for Harry and Helen. They're about to be tortured to death.
Takes a dark turn.
That's a pretty dark turn. Even if Harry answers all their questions, Harry gets a shot of the sodium amytal. It's a truth serum. And it works.
It works.
It works pretty damn good. Helen wants to know if they're going to die.
Yup.
Okay, I can say it's working.
Yup.
That's what she says. How long have you been a spy?
17 years.
Have you ever killed anyone?
Yeah, but they were all bad.
Salim discovers Harry has a daughter.
Uh-oh.
In the torture shack, it's time to get down to business. Is there anything you want to tell me?
Yeah, I'm going to kill you pretty soon.
I see. How exactly?
I'm going to use you as a human shield, and then I'm going to kill that god over there with the Patterson throw car on the table. And then I was thinking about breaking your neck.
And what makes you think you can do that?
You know my handcuffs? I picked them.
Next thing you know, he's chokehold, and we get a knife to the eye.
Right in the eye.
Love it. And Harry does exactly what he laid out. Let's get out of here. Helen is stunned, and Helen and Harry move through the compound, dodging gunfire and killing terrorists like it's both their jobs.
Yeah.
Some great Arnold action style.
Very, very great.
No one looks better hip firing a machine gun than Arnold. Period.
Plain and simple.
I loved that. Just like little, predator action here, little hip fire. He doesn't need to aim.
Even the stance that he takes with that gun is like straight out of Predator.
Definitely.
I don't know if Cameron was specifically directing Arnold to like do those things,
right.
So that subconsciously people who are a fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger be like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Or if that's just how Arnold acts.
I think that's just how he does.
I think so.
I think that's just how he does.
I think so.
I married Rambo, she says. So off they go to thwart some international terrorists.
Yay.
All digressions have been forgiven because Arnold is hot and manly.
That's it. She's like, ooh, I like this sexy, hot Arnold guy. Or, I mean, my husband, Harry Tasker. So everything's okay now. That's all right.
Fine.
He's been lying to me for 17 years.
No biggie.
No big deal.
Back with the terrorists, and they be prepping that bomb.
Yes, they are.
1 hour and 30 minutes till boom, boom. They even encase it in cement, so that thing is going nowhere.
No, it is not.
It's revealed that they are in the Florida Keys.
All right, that's pretty dang close to the continental United States of America.
For sure. And Helen and Harry are the only hope that humanity has.
Yes, that's true.
And Harry also gives Helen an Uzi.
That can't go well.
That cannot go well. It does, but that cannot go well in all realism. Next step, Harry is running around, breaking necks, throwing grenades. Works pretty well.
It works pretty well. I love it.
Pretty damn
Very
well.
exciting.
We get some awesome action. Harry's immune to gunfire.
Yeah, he is.
Obviously. But gets overwhelmed by a very large terrorist.
Yep.
So he instructs Helen to
shoot.
But she gives it a shot and then drops the Uzi. It falls down the stairs. How long are these stairs is the real question. But it falls down the longest staircase ever known to man and continues to shoot every single time it hits the stairs and kills all of the bad guys. Not just like, okay, she still got a guy or two. She kills all of them. They all run towards the falling Uzi. But sure,
somebody jump on that thing.
But sure. Great job, Helen.
Great
that was
job,
awesome.
Helen.
The firefight continues, and a nuke gets loaded onto a chopper. Missed opportunity for Harry to yell,
"Get the chopper!"
Looking overwhelmed for a second time, Harry improvises and with a flamethrower.
Yep.
Sure.
Why not?
Yeah, okay. With the jet fuel and a gun. Probable? Not really. No, it's not.
Very badass.
Very badass? Definitely.
Definitely.
I mean, it was obviously awesome.
It was obviously super awesome, but as soon as he did it, I laughed. The first time I saw it, I'm like, this is so unbelievable.
So unbelievable.
But it was still very cool. I loved it. It was hilarious. I don't know if it was meant to be played for comedy, but it got a laugh out of me.
Definitely got a laugh out of me.
I feel like if he would have actually ignited that jet fuel with, however he would have done it, that flame would have caused everything to explode around them.
Definitely.
Right? That's okay. It was very funny.
To start it up with a gunshot. No.
It was very cool, but it was so improbable.
Sleem has had enough of this shit because he breaks out the rocket launcher. One would think that this is the end to Harry. No. Everyone on screen did, but he escapes, though, because he can swim a quarter mile underwater. Baby.
He sure can.
What can't he do at this point?
I love those shots of him underwater in this movie, and I love any movie that has a shot of somebody swimming underneath a fireball.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's so cool to me. I love it every time.
Just barely beats the explosion. Barely underneath that fire bomb coming in the water, and he can hold his breath for a long time.
Yes, he can.
Juno and Helen leave in a limo. They need Helen as a hostage, so she got pissed. She was going to shoot her. Sleeve's like, nah, we need that hostage. Don't be killing her.
But why do they need her?
They don't.
They don't.
They don't.
They don't.
Actually, it would be perfect to take her out.
Yes, but that's okay.
But that's fine, because we like her. Sleem leaves on a chopper,
Yep.
so it's time for an explosive car chase.
Love it. This is like the first real car chase of the movie. We
Yeah.
kind of had that faux car chase with the motorcycle and the horse.
Right.
But this is a legit car
Car
chase. Yeah,
chase.
this legit car chase.
In comes Gibb and crew. I thought this looked like your work.
I'll brief you in the air. Let's go. Come on.
It's time to stop some nukes and rescue Helen.
Thank the Lord. Will you tell that son of a bitch this is a bright boy alert? I repeat, a bright boy alert. Everyone needs to get to a distance of 12 miles.
Yeah.
I still feel like I'd want to get a little bit further than that from a nuclear missile. But
Yeah. Can we double that, please?
They call in 2 Marine Harriers. I do love this sequence. It is like the peak of the movie for me.
For
I
sure.
know it's not really the final action sequence, and I feel like maybe the end was supposed to be the most exciting part of the movie. But for me, this bridge chase with the explosions and the people trying to exit cars into helicopters, for me, was the most exciting part of the movie.
And as unrealistic as this scene is, it's way more realistic than the end of the movie.
Agreed.
Way more realistic.
Agreed. I love the jets. 3 of the jets in the film are actual military fighter jets. Producers rented out 3 Marine Harriers and their pilots from the U.S. government for shooting. A total fee of just over $100,000. The figure is about a $2,410 hourly rate.
Damn.
I'd love to make that.
Yeah.
We get some awesome missile launchers. Love it.
Yep.
Dude gets blown out of that truck, which is very funny.
Very funny.
Very,
and gets
very-
ran over.
Yeah, that was brutal. By
That
the
was
way.
pretty
That
brutal.
Was pretty brutal. They take out the bridge.
Will the missiles make the nukes explode?
That's a negative. And then Harry shrugs his shoulders and winks at the camera. He has no idea.
He has no idea.
Seems like something he should know.
Yeah.
Bridge taken out. Very realistic model work.
Definitely.
Because they didn't actually take out a bridge in the Florida Keys.
Right.
Very realistic model work. I love that. I love the practical effects. I haven't said that in a long time on this podcast, but I love practical effects.
Damn right.
And that one was super believable. I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Oh, and and then you get that final bit with the Pelican landing on the dangling truck. Another instance of very Looney Tunes, very comedy movie. Then when the truck does fall, that bitch explodes
Immediately.
for
just boom.
no reason.
It's just no reason whatsoever.
It barely just makes contact with the ground and
Right. It kind of slows itself down because the tire just hits perfectly for them to fall straight, and you're waiting to see what happens, and it fucking explodes immediately on
immediately.
impact. All right.
Great. We cut to Helen and Juno, and they're struggling in the limo. It's a cat fight.
Cat fight.
The driver is dead, and we get that iconic Helen rescue.
That's a famous 90s shot.
Even if you've never seen this movie, you've seen that shot.
Definitely.
You've seen that shot. With her dangling from the helicopter. Excuse me, the chopper. The chopper. Get down to the limo. Come on, take it down. Let's go. Take it down. The bridge is out.
Oh, God, the bridge is out.
They save her just in time. How did they get Jamie Lee Curtis to do that stunt? Because that is her. That is her. Jamie Lee Curtis refused to let a body double do that stunt in this film. She is dangling from that helicopter over the ocean. She did that stunt.
That is badass.
And let alone she did that stunt on her birthday.
Nice.
That's kind of crazy.
That is.
That's kind of crazy. The 2 Harriers, they land. T-minus 1 minute till the nukes go kablooey. Do not look at the flash. Do not look at the flash. I still feel like I'd want to be further away from that nuclear explosion.
Yeah, for sure.
Harry and Helen, they share a kiss. The bomb blows. Is that hot?
Sure.
Sure, it's hot. Sure.
Gotta love that his giant mitt just blocks any freaking nuclear explosion into them.
It's the reignition of the spark they share together.
And at this point, the sleeve's been ripped for a while, but
Yes.
you gotta love that his right sleeve is the only thing in his shirt that's ripped off, so you can just show that massive fucking guns.
22-inch pythons, brother. Gib calls for Harry. Helen tells Harry to go.
Go to work.
That was actually Helen that says it. Helen tells Harry to,
Go to work.
and he just goes, bye, like a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, like he's all excited.
Very, very funny. And everyone realizes that Salim is going to go after Harry and Helen's daughter.
Harry, they have a hostage. It's Dana.
My Dana?
Yes.
He doesn't play it that extreme. He says more like, my Dana?
Yeah.
Gib has a guy on the inside, though. Thanks. It's our other buddy who I still can't think of his goddamn name.
God damn it.
But that's not good enough for Harry, so he jumps in one of the Harrier jets and takes off to go to her rescue. He's a little bit rusty flying that jet.
Yeah, it's a trademark Tasker takeoff.
If I break it, you can take it out of my pay. So Harry to the rescue. In Miami, all the terrorists are in a high-rise building on the top floor. The terrorists, they're firing wildly into the air because that's what terrorists do.
Yeah.
They just start firing their guns. They're not shooting at anything. They're just firing wildly.
Just wasting bullets.
Wasting bullets. The news crew, Salim requested, is there and introducing the guy on the inside. What the fuck is his name? I can't think of his name. And don't forget about Dana. She's there. Salim, he sticks the key in that bomb and activates it.
Yep.
But Dana, she steals that key. She's pretty ballsy.
Yeah.
That's pretty ballsy to do.
For sure.
That's pretty ballsy. Way to go, Dana. And our man on the inside, whatever his name is, gets his gun out of the TV camera and lights up some dudes. That's a cool scene. I like that. He just kind of fishes that gun out and he's like, pop, 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 pop. He's very accurate. I mean, I guess if you're working for a secret government organization, you can probably handle a gun.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fine. Dana, she moves to the roof and Salim is close behind. So Dana goes higher and higher, scaling the construction equipment. Okay.
Sure.
Salim follows her out onto a crane.
Give
She's on a crane.
Yeah, a crane.
A crane.
A crane.
With a stunt double that's obviously like a 45-year-old woman. But that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Give me the key and you won't get hurt. I give you my word.
No way, you wacko. No way. Thankfully, Harry shows up and unleash the firepower of that Harrier jet on the remaining terrorists in the building. I love how he shoots up that floor. I love how he shoots out everything.
All the windows, all the way through.
That's like big-time action that you've got to say that the Wachowski siblings, I don't know if they're brothers or sisters anymore. I don't know what their preferred pronouns are, took a cue from that, right?
Yeah.
Because that is like made me think of The Matrix.
For sure.
That is like a standard that was set in this movie and then was duplicated throughout the 90s and forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So, like I said, thankfully, Harry shows up and destroys those terrorists. Dana, jump down! Come on, jump down!
Onto the jet? Dad?
This scene is nuts.
Nuts.
It's just nuts,
It's
isn't it?
insane.
Not only does that jet hover forever, max time in real life is 5 minutes that a Harrier jet can hover for.
Oh my God.
5 minutes. Not only is that, Salim and Dana climb up on the back of the jet. They both end up on the back of the jet.
Yeah.
Harry fights Salim while maintaining perfect control of the jet.
Yeah. I mean, already the fact that he's able to stabilize as perfectly as he is insane.
It's insane.
Then you add the fact that he's getting like shot / punching with his other arm and then reaching to his daughter with the other. Like, what the hell?
There's an extended period of time where he's not holding onto the stick or working any of the controls with his feet.
No.
I'm no jet expert. I'm no jettist.
I'm no jettist.
Maybe the word I was looking for is pilot. But I gotta think that if you're in hover mode on a Harrier jet and you just completely let go of the controls and stand up in the jet, that jet's probably going down.
Going down fast. Like,
probably going down.
Get down.
Get the jet down.
But
boy.
yeah, you know, when they're both on the back, Salim takes a pretty good nut shot.
And don't forget about that janitor that did not hear the jet flying 10 feet from him.
No.
The best part is the ending.
Salim gets caught on a missile that Harry fires through the building and blows up the helicopter. Damn it. Sorry. The chopper.
The chopper. You fired. You got to get one more Arnold line in there, right? You fired.
You fired.
Ultimately, saving the day and destroying terrorism.
Yeah.
They land on the street. Dana and Harry share a moment. Dana, it's over. Hi, pumpkin.
Hi, pumpkin.
What is that line? What is that? She doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you say hi pumpkin before you say whatever? It was weird and I hated that line.
Also, I got to imagine that you noticed when she's dangling from the crane that her voice was not matching up with the lips in the movie.
No.
Like
not one
way
bit.
off.
Yeah,
like,
not even close.
Yeah.
I was wondering, what was she actually saying that they had to dub her?
Right.
Because they dubbed her.
Or was it like so quiet that they had to
It could have been.
in?
It could have just been terrible. But you're right. The lips and the lines did not line up one bit.
Yeah. And also, not to linger on it too much, but she gets to the point where she is literally only hanging on from her hands.
Yep.
He knows this.
Yep.
That's when he leaves to take care of the chopper situation and then comes back and she still is
She's
hanging
still
on.
there.
That's some Robin grip strength right there. That's some Robin grip strength.
That is an example of some of the best grip strength that we've ever seen on this podcast.
Definitely.
That's up there with Robin. Who else has got our grip strength? Robin, Pete's mom, and now Dana.
Yeah.
So True Lies is actually an Oscar nominee. The visual effects team were nominated for an Academy Award for their work on this film. They lost to Forrest Gump. That's interesting. I remember the whole. I think what got Forrest Gump the visual effects Oscar was him being inserted into all of these like historical old films. There's a segment where they go through like all of Forrest's accomplishments, and he's with all these like ultra famous people from the 1960s.
Oh, okay.
Like he's in a shot with Nixon. He's in a shot with a bunch of other people. I'm blanking on what it is, but that's all right. Back at home now, and it's all back to normal.
And they're having a family thumb war.
Just question marks for me on that one. I've never done a three-way, four-way, I guess it would have been in my family, thumb war with my family.
At this point, too, Dana's 14 or 15 now.
New tradition in my family. We're doing thumb wars, and I'm not talking my family. I'm doing this with my parents and my sister.
Right.
Next Thanksgiving, we're doing a four-way. I'm not going to say they got to go doing a four-way thumb war.
Four-way thumb war.
Thumb war.
Thumb war.
The phone rings and Boris and Doris are on. The movie ends in much the same way it begins, at a fancy soiree. But this time it's Harry and Helen, because she had one instance where she had to be forced into being an international spy, so that qualifies her to be a spy.
She's now trained to fly jets, to ride horses, and kill people in one shot.
Yes, she is. Simon happens to be there as well, still trying to pull that same old con. He pees himself again, which is hilarious.
Fear is not an option, as she says with the lipstick up on his chin.
He didn't think that was a gun. Did he think it was a gun?
Apparently he did.
Okay, whatever, because she would just pull a gun out. Anyways, it's time to tango.
Oh, shit. Here we go. National security, guys. Come on. It's life or death.
And I do have to say, this is maybe one of the funnier bits from Gibb in this movie. He's like, I don't want to be in the van anymore, guys. 15 years in the van.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the van. Roll credits. So in 2010, a rumor spread that Cameron was interested in developing the film into a television series, joining another long-standing rumor that Cameron and Schwarzenegger were planning a cinematic sequel. Neither has come to pass, obviously, and Cameron promises that he's not working on anything new in the True Lies universe.
Damn.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
I could go for more True Lies.
Definitely.
I could go for more True Lies.
Give me more. This would be more Jamie Lee Curtis, you know.
Hell yeah. She's still got a banging bod.
Yep.
Anyways, Trav, what the hell did you think of this movie?
I really, really enjoyed this movie.
Man. Hell yeah.
Thank you to my dad for suggesting
this. Way
I
to
told
go.
him how much we love Arnold. He said, True Lies? You haven't seen True Lies? You guys should do that. And that was a really good call. I mean, it's the essence of the podcast, a movie I haven't seen, and I genuinely really enjoyed it. That's kind of the whole point of this. So
this movie is a really good. I feel the exact same way. This movie, I'm sad that I missed it for so long, that I waited 20 years, 30 years to see this movie. I should have seen it a long time ago. This movie for me is like a snapshot of 1994.
For sure.
If you want to understand if you did not do your homework, which why are you listening if you didn't do your homework? If you want to understand what 1994 felt like in cinema, this is it.
This is it.
This is it right here. Is it formulaic? Yes. Is it corny? Yes. But that's what's good about this movie.
Definitely.
It's very comfortable, it's very easily digested, and you can just watch it over and over without feeling worn down by it or it being a chore.
The fact that comedy is part of it makes it a lot better.
It does.
Makes the rewatch.
If it would have
really
been a
good.
strate action movie, it would not have had the same charm.
Definitely.
That's.
not.
I haven't said it yet, but this movie has a lot of charm.
Yeah.
It really does. It for all its faults, and we pick these movies apart because that's what's kind of funny.
Right.
So with all its faults, though, the charm is there, and it was very enjoyable. And Trav's dad, way to go, man!
Thanks, Ricky.
What a great suggestion. Trav, do you want to talk about the homework assignment?
I think we should.
All right, we are doing. So this is our Christmas episode.
Yeah.
We are doing Die Hard.
Die Hard!
From 1988. Another dip into the 80s, which I'm always a fan of. Directed by John McTiernan. Screenplay by Jeb Stewart and Stephen E. D'Souza. Based on Nothing Lasts Forever by Roderick Thorpe. That is a name.
Yeah,
Roderick Thorpe. Man, I wish I would have known Roderick was a name before I named my son Cameron.
Yeah.
Would have named him Roderick.
Roderick.
Produced by Lawrence Gordon and Joe Silver, starring Bruce Willis as John McClane. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. Alan Rickman, R.I.P. Alan Rickman,
R.I.P.
as Hans Gruber. Alexander Godunov as Carl. Bonnie Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia? I didn't think Bedelia was a real last name. Now I know for a
Now
fact.
you know.
As Holly Gennaro McLean. Reginald Vell Johnson as Al Powell. Paul Gleason as Dwayne T. Robinson. Devereaux White as Argyle. William Atherton as Richard Thornburg. Clarence Gilliard as Theo. Hart Borchard as Harry Ellis. James Shigeta as Joseph. Yoshobu Takagi. I have a really hard time with those Japanese names. Cinematography by Jan de Bont. Edited by Frank J. Ursat. Sure. John F. Link. Music by Michael Kamen. Produced by production companies Gordon Company and Silver Pictures. It was released July 15th, 1988. It had a budget of $25 to $35 million. Nobody really knows. Box office of $141.5 million, and that's $371.1 million in 2024.
This is the Overdue Homework
This
Podcast.
was a pretty big movie.
Yeah.
Pretty dang big movie. Trav, anything you want to talk about before we hit this movie? Should we talk about the controversy right off the bat? Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
It is for us.
It is for us.
It is for us.
There's the correct answer, Trav. Trav, hit me with that outro.
Outro time. Today there's no emails again. So I thought we'd just BS a little bit and appreciate all the awesome suggestions that we've had from people. This was a suggestion. Basic Instinct was a suggestion. Jake's been hitting us with the bangers. Species. Now he wants us to do Life Force. Have you ever seen
I've never
that?
seen Life Force. I don't even know what it's about.
Don't even know what it's about, but he said he thought of us.
There
so.
better be a connection to the rest of his movies.
Right? There's got to be.
There's gotta
be a movie in a movie.
We'll find it.
I mean, he gave us the ultimate Hellraiser, which was in Basic Instinct.
Correct.
That's crazy.
That is the craziest connection that any of our podcast episodes have had.
Yeah.
That's
Still
craziest
got, Cable Guy is our most listened to downloaded
episode.
and that was a fan suggestion. So thank you for the fan suggestion.
Yeah, don't forget Goofy Movie.
Goofy Movie, Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs, man.
Keep them coming.
Keep 'em
We've had
coming,
a lot of
please.
good suggestions. Really appreciate it. So make sure you email us at podcast@Overdue Homework. Yeah, I don't think there's too much else to talk about.
Don't forget to do your homework out there, folks.
Do your homework. Follow us on socials, Instagram and Facebook at Overdue Homework Podcast. And make sure you tune into the next exciting episode of the Overdue Homework Podcast.